Stream Element said, Loki Godson is now live. Streaming just chatting, World War III is inevitable. It might be soon is the problem.
Hassan's reaction to H3H3 video and content nuke. Where he baited Hassan to react, and then due to Hassan reacting, 3 of Hassan's orbiters are now getting sued, which, by the way, must scare the piss out of them. He uploads a video called Ethan, This is Embarrassing, already getting dislike bombed at 2.6 thousand dislikes. Here's the original video in case you guys want to go support this. Regardless of how you feel about me or feel about Hassan, always make sure to credit the original users posting. But let's see Hassan's reaction to Ethan's reaction. Let's see what's going on here. Now, make sure to go support Hassan as well. Great guy, great friend. Let's get into it.
Apparently, there's a second content nuke that is, I guess, the...
You know what's funny? This guy is so disingenuous. This guy has to form Giga Chads, and look at how much I don't care. He puts on a different voice to try to act like he doesn't care that he just lost 3 of his friends $500,000. And you know what's crazy? Here's the best thing that Hassan doesn't realize yet. This is opening up Caseytron, Denims, and Frogan to be permanently banned. That's the truth, by the way. That's the thing that a lot of people in the public don't realize. I had a lot of conversations with a lot of people last night. This does open up those 3 to be permanently banned, which would fall directly on Hassan's head, by the way, which means people are going to be horrified talking to this guy because that's the damage he causes his friends. Let's keep going here. By the way, guys, make sure to support Ethan by donating to Denim's GoFundMe. Let's keep going here.
The timelines, and I make some interesting. I'm in the content nuke apparently, but
he's trying so hard to act like he doesn't care. It's so funny because the political space is so fraudulent. They're like, the more I act like I don't care, the cooler I am, the more W's I farm. Hey guys, so 3 of my friends are getting sued because of me, but it's like, whatever and shit, you know what I mean? Like, oh, yeah. Oh, Ethan Klein, you racist piece of shit. Let's keep hearing the reaction here. Let's see how long he can hold his composure. Guys, do you think he'll break? Let's find out.
It's not a content nuke alone. It's also a lawsuit. It turns out Ethan's initial content nuke, by his own estimation, by his own...
I will say, though, listening to this guy is like watching paint dry on the wall. Well, the paint drying is obviously the, the Hamas flag, right? But listening to this guy is, some form of torture. There are some probably sick, twisted punishments for, like, far right wingers to where they have to watch 10 hours of Hassan streams or take their own life. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people pick the take their own life over watching this shit, man. It is insane. By the way, real talk. Okay, just humor me for a second here, please. This is unedited. This is in real time. I want you to look at this. And now look at this. Now look at this. Now look at this. It is the exact same person. You cannot fool me, Hassan Diddy, Osama bin Laden, Adolf Epstein, Baby Oil Piker. I know you're the master of disguise. I know you're the master of disguise. You can trick all these other people, but you can't trick me, buddy. Not today, bud. Not today. I see that fake ass hair. Look at that. It's like a helmet. He woke up. He put that shit on this morning. He put on his fake beard because everybody knows he isn't turtly enough for the Turtle Club.
Statements was actually a trick, was a trap.
I'm going to speed this guy up because, he just talks really slow.
Wanted to basically sue everyone that watches the content nuke. And he's, Mr. Copyright Infringement is trying to litigate the resentment that people feel towards him once again, which I think is
Mr. Copyright is going to enforce copyright on people who said, hey, watch my video over this guy's video. That way that other guy doesn't get views. Hey, man, he's perfectly within his right. Anyways, guys, make sure to go support Hassan's channel. Great guy, great friend. Like his video.
He's very weird, and he is he's launched a lawsuit against Frogan, Denims, and Casey Tron. Now,
And I don't think you understand how much it costs to launch a lawsuit against Frogan because it actually scales per pound. And the heavier somebody is, the more lawyers you need to tackle each subsection of that person. Like you have a lawsuit versus left leg, right leg. It's kind of like Exodia because she's so above the weight limit. It's like, okay, one for the head, one for the arm, one for the right arm. But if she all gets together at any point, oh, Exodia. Thankfully, it's too exhausting, right? Too much cardio.
a lot of people watch this content nuke. I don't know why he only sued those people. I mean, I watch his content.
Because those people said, don't support the original video, support mine. That's why. Does that help? I know it's very hard to use our brain here for a couple of seconds, but that's why, big guy. I hope that helps.
Nuke as well. But here's the, I don't know.
And the reason why he's not suing you, Hassan, is because he specifically asked you to react to it. So he doesn't have the grounds to do so. I hope this helps. I'm not educated like you are. I didn't get the degree. I didn't have the talk show where I talked about how I wanted to have sex with little girls. I didn't do that like you, Hassan. But me, I figured that out. I figured that out, but not you. By the way, how was that Diddy party, by the way?
Oh, stupid.
Oh, to quote a great man by Hassan, today we'll be discussing old enough to count, old enough to mount. Yeah, hey, his words, not mine. Let's keep going here.
I don't know what to say about it, but here's the Dick Sardonox thing I saw from it.
That I formulated an idea. What if I could make a long-form, irresistible piece of content that I knew that these streamers couldn't resist, they couldn't avoid the temptation of watching it the second it was published?
I don't have an issue with them.
It's not that I wanted these people to steal my video. It's that I knew they would. I knew they would watch the entire video, add little to no commentary, react to it instantly, giving them no time to form.
Not all reactors are the same. I want to remind you guys, we're a minute in. This video is already 6.5 minutes. These people don't have the gift of gab or the gift of jab. They got nothing. Okay, they sit there and they have their little communities because they pander to whatever extremist political agenda they have. They've earned nothing. They've worked for nothing.
Form an opinion.
Also, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to me on YouTube. Turn the bell on for notifications.
The trap was set and it worked even.
Yeah, except I didn't do any of those things, which I feel like is a major failure of a trap.
Yeah, Hassan, because the video and the premise wasn't meant to trap you. It was meant to trap your friends. This isn't some 10 million IQ GigaChad thing. You're misunderstanding what the purpose was. He couldn't have trapped you for copyright and claimed unfair use because he requested for you to react to it. Now, I know you want to farm W's. I know you want to farm Copes. I know you want to farm GigaChads. But unfortunately, everyone outside your space knows that you're an idiot. You're the one who doesn't get it. Hope this helps.
Begged me to watch it for months. He cried on camera that I just refused to watch it. And then
He didn't cry on camera.
Told him I'd watch it alongside him if necessary. And then I ended up watching it months later to fundraise. And it's a 8-hour reaction for even half of the content nuke.
Never finished it.
So I guess that kind of failed. So now he's just going after people.
Keep in mind, he never finished it because he was scared.
Who he perceives as defenseless, smaller content creators that he can possibly litigate to try to secure a litigation victory after.
Defenseless, smaller content creators. Denims, the person who had 65,000 live viewers on Twitch reacting to that, telling people to not support the original poster. I know. Oh, they're all the Whittle guys, and Ethan's the really big meanie guy. Let me tell you a trick on Hassan. Anybody who's on his side is a defenseless victim. Everybody against him is a horrible Nazi psychopath. Hope this helps.
He got pushed in by a billionaire that he defamed, Brian Kavanaugh.
And by the way, you claimed that he cried on stream and that you'd watch alongside him. You had one conversation and you crashed out for 4 hours straight, Hassan. We all saw that. You racist piece of shit! Just to re-jog your memory there, buddy.
But now he's just like desperate to get a win somewhere. I don't even know if this will work in his favor, but I don't even know if this was like a masterful gambit from the start. Like, I don't even know if this was like a setup because it doesn't make sense. Because on the one hand, why would you admit that you were doing entrapment? Like, you wanted people to go react to your video. You said you wanted people to go react to your video. You said anyone and everyone can even, make money.
You entrapped them. Hassan, the reason why it's not entrapment is because Ethan laid it out for anyone to react to fairly, and they all would have been fine. Hence the other 9 people that were cited on the Reddit who did react that he didn't like, but he is only processing 3 of them with litigation because those direct people are the ones who said, guys, don't support the original video. Don't watch him. Support me instead. They entrapped themselves. It's like that one meme with the guy fucking taking the stick, putting it inside his own bike, and then falling down, then saying, damn you, Ethan. It's literally them.
Money off of your videos in the past when we had a podcast together, only to then turn around and be like, actually, I got you. You reacted to my video and therefore you're done. He claims you're watching it was fair use, unlike those he's suing. I thought about not responding to this, but it's so silly that he was like, he's openly admitting that he was baiting me into a lawsuit, and then it did. Didn't work.
No, that was never said. That was legit never said. Hassan makes up things that were never said by anybody and claims that they did. And this is why people are horrified of Hassan's community, is because he will just go live and lie, and none of his chat will call him out for it. It is insane. He legit can't stop lying. He can't. He cannot do it. He just goes live. Nowhere did Ethan say that. He was never trying to entrap Hassan. He literally said that he was openly inviting Hassan to react to it, and that he could not do that. Those other people would have been fine if they didn't say, don't support the original video. It's really that easy.
So now he's just like going after other people that reacted to it as well. He wanted everyone to watch it.
Yeah, he's just going after other people that were laughing when his family's life was in danger and actively harassed them by getting the Child Protective Services called on them. Oh, poor Denims. She's getting sued for unfair use after getting the Child Protective Services called on Ethan. Oh, I feel so bad for her. Maybe she'll have to suck 3 more dicks to pay rent this month. Oh, that's really fucking sad. Oh, man. Denims got caught without her denims. Truly a shame. She got fucked live on 4K. Not on Pornhub, not yet.
He wanted more eyeballs to see this video. He wanted as many eyeballs
So
to see this video so that he like tanked his Twitch channel because he was playing it 24/7. And now that more eyeballs actually saw it, he's upset. Hassani absolutely did not make the nuke with this in mind. He's just acting now. He thinks he's in a way that a villain would act. Yeah, it's kind of sad either way. It's sad to try, and it's sad as...
It's just really sad. It's really sad that me and all my friends got fucked. It's really sad that I got all my friends fucked over this. And, oh, man, it's really sad that my friends are finally facing the consequences of their own actions. It's just really sad and pitiful. Hassan, you got fucked, bro. Everybody knows it.
So many different ways. The reason why it's sad in so many different ways is because, like, then, okay, the content nuke was actually...
By the way, the next 6 minutes we're going to see is Hassan coping out of his fucking mind. Hope this helps.
Actually bullshit. Like, you don't actually think I'm a terrorist. You just slandered your Muslim former podcast co-host.
And by the way, if you don't think this is a preemptive plan, brother, he pre-registered the copyright. What do you want about?
terrorist for what? This trap that you could launch against potentially him and all these other content creators who watch it? Like that was your brilliant plan? Like the terrorism stuff was actually nothing? Cool, man. Thanks. The demands for deplatforming that are baked into the video, very strange stuff. But I guess the slander doesn't end there, because in the Denims lawsuit, I'm compared to the Grand Mufti Haj Amin al-Husseini. Al-Husseini meets Adolf Hitler, November 28th, 1941. Al-Husseini with his close friend Heinrich Himmler. In the wake of October 7th, Hassan emerged as a modern incarnation of the Grand Mufti Haj Amin al-Husseini. Like al-Husseini, Hassan became a passionate advocate.
All I'm saying is, if Hitler was a streamer, yeah, their streams would be really fucking similar. You know what I mean? Hold on, let me check here real quick. You're even both painters, man. Look at that, bro. You and Hitler got a lot more in common than you think, Hassan. Don't take offense to it, man. It's a compliment, man. That's great. Good for you, man.
Advocate and highly charismatic leader of the Palestinian cause. Like al-Husseini, Hassan used his massive platform to spread genocidal rhetoric about anyone advocating for the right of Jewish self-determination in their ancestral homeland, i.e. Zionists. The primary difference between Hassan and al-Husseini is that al-Husseini worked with the Nazis and advocated for the annihilation of the Jews, while Hassan advocates for the annihilation of all Zionists. Since the vast majority of Jews in the United States say caring about Israel is essential or important, this would necessarily include the vast majority of Jews, even if they support the Palestinian cause and vehemently condemn the actions of the Israeli government. The vast annihilation of Zionists. Zionism is a political ideology. And I don't think I've ever said we must annihilate. I'm not even going to.
Oh, by the way, Zionist in Hassan's terminology means anybody he disagrees with. So does abuser. Yep, so does manipulator. Anybody he disagrees with is a pedophile, by the way. I want you to let you know, Hassan has gone on record. This is from yesterday. You know what? I'm going to pull this up. And we found it just like that. Let me show you what Hassan says about anybody that disagrees with him.
Why so many people get so fucking butt mad whenever this interaction happens. And I think I know exactly why. It's because your favorite content creator is a pathetic little fucking cretin who never leaves his house. So when you see a political content creator who isn't like that and who has the capacity to just like basically interact with these people, you go, I'm ass mad.
Hold up.
Why won't my pedophilic loser school shooter favorite political content creator not interact with these people?
Anybody who disagrees with Hassan is a pedophilic school shooter. His words, not mine. That's how delusional, that's how deranged this guy is. Guys, this is the largest leftist political content creator on Twitch.
Finish that, because he's going to clip this out of context and then use it in his next lawsuit probably.
Hassan, I promise you, your clips are so bad in context, nobody needs to clip them out of context.
But what a ridiculous lawsuit. Like, he just had to do a little bit of, he just had to add a little bit of defamation in there as well. Just sneak in some defamation for no reason. Like, what the I agree with the bottom line of this video. When someone reacts to a video without any reaction, shouldn't have it. Maybe I'm insane. No, but that's the reason why he's...
I absolutely agree. If your video isn't adding anything to the original video, whether that's vibes, emotion, input, jokes, humor, insightful commentary, just don't post it. I mean, I will make like 8 reacts a stream, but I'll only post 4 or 5 of them. And whatever 3 are the worst ones, I just won't post. Or I'll chop them up and have them slapped on more tech tone. If the reacts are that bad, then just don't post them. It's really that easy.
Trying to use this as a form of attack so that people like you who have this opinion, he knows that he can't litigate this issue on the basis of his support for Israel, okay? So now he's trying to litigate this issue on the basis of react content, which is more in line with the normal kind of drama that he engages with, and that a lot of onlookers, such as yourself, will go, well, I kind of agree with that.
You know what's crazy? I just got Hassan just now. I'm not sure if you noticed it. He started talking, and then I just phased out. I was like, huh? The fuck? Where am I? Like, oh, fuck. Oh, what was you saying again? Oh, shit, I don't know. That's how boring this fucking guy is to listen to. It's insane. It's just, he has this way of talking where I just can't pay attention because it's so boring. You know what Hassan is? Hassan's like an e-girl that has their clothes on. It's like, why am I watching this? You know, jiggle your balls a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me something to watch. Like, damn, bro, like I'm dying here. Like, not even this Gamer Sups Happy Juice mixed with Chug Jug for 10% off that you can get right now on gamersups.gg using code BALDY can fucking keep me awake and alert to watch this shit. Maybe me pressing like, comment, and subscribe on this video and turning the bell on for all notifications will help me wake the fuck up. I don't know, man. It's hard out here.
He made this YouTube video. He has every right to sue people for copyright. That's it. The only intelligent part about this is redirecting his animosity to a better playing field. Asmongold's reaction got millions of views and he barely said anything in the reaction. Yeah, I suspect that Asmongold's reaction was, I mean, not as...
That's because he didn't encourage people to not support the original video. Do you get it yet? Do you get it? You keep on re-saying the same talking points that have been debunked. Can somebody tell him that? Does he get that or no?
Not as transformative, but certainly complimentary, which is precisely the reason why he doesn't have an issue with that. Interesting stuff. Here is what I was talking about, and I think when we had the podcast together, even back then.
Well, I want to say a little show note.
And it's also crazy because he says that Asmongold barely reacted to it. Brother, Asmongold's react is double the length of the original video. Right? So once again, Hassan, you are a lying piece of shit.
Okay. Here's to all the industrial entrepreneuring spirits out there. I am opening our IP.
Asmon didn't react to it. The video length is 2 hours. It's 4 hours. Like, I don't know what Hassan thinks he didn't do, but he doubled the length of the react. Like, what are we on about?
To the world. This is a message with peace and love.
Another debunking that you can do if you just Google the words that Hassan says. Genuinely. Everything he says, just Google it, and you will realize how big of a lying piece of shit this guy is. It is insane.
You can now make your own H3 podcast. That's right, everyone.
I guess you
Is that what you
could.
mean?
That's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. No.
Gotcha.
You can't make a fake H3 podcast, although you probably could, actually, because I don't think anyone would mistake it.
Bro, the fact that he, once again, has a shit react in a edited YouTube video. How do people watch this? Like, I'm getting bored for what's supposed to be highly edited, entertaining content, right? You go to Twitch to watch the slop. You watch the YouTube videos to get the condensed version. And even this is just like, was this supposed to be left in? Did the editors forget? He's not even looking at the goddamn camera. Like, what the fuck is he doing here?
I mean, if it's a parody, you can
Yeah,
do whatever
I
you
don't
want.
think anyone would mistake it. So our IP is open. I got inspired by Hassan. He has the Hassan Industrial Complex. So I want the Ethan Industrial Complex. I think it's a good idea. I like it.
Also, side note, I am so glad Ethan changed his look because Jesus Christ. Ethan looks great these days. He does. Ethan's looking a lot healthier, looking a lot happier, looking a lot better. I don't know what the hell he was thinking here.
Yeah, I think it's really cool.
And it's actually...
Tory Fly just said he's live. It's not a highly edited moment. Brother, this is a fucking YouTube video. You're a first-time chatter because you're Hassan's chatter, bro. You just followed to once again lie for him again. It's not even just Hassan now lying. It's his community lying for him. And by the way, get the fuck out of my chat.
It's crazy how like many people are seemingly making a decent living.
Yeah, I mean, this is a desperate attempt to grab on to any sort of controversy and drama. I'm sure that me reacting to it is actually playing into exactly what he wanted to do. But the reason why I wanted to talk about this is specifically so that you guys go and show support.
It's not a desperate attempt to get clout. It's him attempting to right the wrong that was committed onto him, which is very different.
Support to Denims, Rogan, and Casey Tron, because obviously
Yes, guys, please go support Denims, Frogan, and Casey Tron so Ethan gets more money from the lawsuit cases.
he has a ton of money, and he's going to use the ton of money that he has to bully other content creators who don't have a ton of money and try.
Bro, Denims whores herself out on OnlyFans every day, bro. You think you don't got tons of money? Everybody knows that OnlyFans girls got money. Okay, she gets 4,000 views on Twitch. Okay, her YouTube's fucking dead because all she is Hassan's offline chat. But guys, let's stop this. Oh, they're poor and defenseless. If they're poor and defenseless, then don't go on the aggro and attack somebody. Because if your excuse is, I'm just a little guy, then don't fuck around with the big boys. It's really that simple. If your whole, and by the way, find me a drama where a larger content creator came to me and I said, oh man, I'm such a small channel. Why is he saying this about me? Because you're a pussy if you say that. It's disingenuous as fuck. And here's the reality, Hassan, if that's your whole shtick, that Ethan needs to grab onto this fucking clout because he has no relevance, then you're a larger content creator bullying him. You're a larger content creator getting your whole army to harass this fucking guy. So you're full of shit again, and you know it. Dude, you literally think about anything Hassan says for 30 seconds and you will find the second gate of hypocrisy, the third gate of blasphemy, the fourth gate of defamation. This guy is so disingenuous, it's insane.
To win some kind of public opinion battle. That is partially the reason why he went after.
What about the Hutt? You think Frogan's a small content creator? She's the largest content creator on the platform. What are you talking about?
Frogan, Denims, and Casey Tron. These are people who get insane lines of attack, and most people don't choose to defend them. I don't think he actually wanted the smoke, which is precisely the reason why he didn't like try to do this for me or any other content creators who reacted to his context puke, which by the way was his wishes. That was his desire. His desire from the start was for everyone and anyone to watch this so that everyone could know about the dangers of me being a terrorist.
Raggy, can I have a Ruby Rack? Jesus, guy, this guy is so fucking stupid. It makes me go crazy.
Said it in the context nuke on numerous occasions. But like I said, the reason why I'm mentioning this is because we should show support to the content creators he is unjustifiably attacking. And
he's unjustifiably attacked Denims and Frogan. Oh, he's unjustifiably attacked Casey Tron. The people who have been attacking him for literal years. Hassan, their videos are public. Hassan, their streams are public. Their clips are posted on Yeet. We can all see it. No one is falling for this except for your fucking retarded ass community.
That's it. That's all I got. It's so funny in this video. He says XQC and Asman he wants to be cool with, and yet XQC had him have that whole debate where he did the worm. Yeah, I mean, Ethan Klein is very similar to Donald Trump in many ways. Donald Trump will let by.
Oh, here we go. Asman is Donald Trump. Nuxtaku is Donald Trump. Ethan Klein is Donald Trump. Everybody who I disagree with is a pedophile school shooter. Everybody is Donald Trump. Donald Trump equals bad. They're like Donald Trump, which means they're bad. Jesus, bro, get a fucking grip. Holy shit. Good God.
Bygones be bygones as long as you offer fealty or as long as he can use you. Ethan sees Asmongold and XQC as allies. Ethan sees a bunch of neo-Nazis as reliable allies. He's Asmongold and XQC as allies. Ethan sees a bunch of neo-Nazis.
These guys disagree with me, which means they are widowy neo-Nazis, guys. I was playing Fortnite 2 months ago, and they took my chug jug, and that's literally what the neo-Nazis did to the Jews. Trust me, I know a Nazi when I see him, and they're literally that. How do people humor this? Genuinely. How? Oh my God, the comments are agreeing. This community is beyond help. Jesus. This is crazy, dude. This is crazy.
As reliable allies because they all despise me. And that's precisely the reason why he's perfectly fine with aligning.
Hassan, here's the crazy ass thing. We have all said multiple times, stop supporting terrorism and we'll be all fine. Stop breaking the law on stream and we're all fine. We don't give a fuck about you, but you're ruining Twitch. You're ruining the platform and what's allowed to be on here. You are hurting so many creators. You are hurting so many people. You are radicalizing your viewers to kill people. And if you think, whoa, why is he saying that? Brother, when you went to the LA riots and all of these people were setting fire to cars, throwing rocks on buildings, throwing rocks at police officers, trespassing the government property, there was a literal hypercut compilation of over 30 minutes of these people admitting that they are your viewers. So yes, it's a slippery slope, man. And yeah, I think throwing cinder blocks at police officers isn't okay.
With them and working with them because he operates.
Oh, and by the way, do you want to know who's the worst in all of this? It's not Denims. It's not Frogan. It's not Hassan. It's not Ethan. It's not Asmon. It's not X. It's not me. It's fucking Twitch for allowing it. The fact that Twitch allows this shit on stream. Stream is fucking pathetic, and the weight solely rests on your shoulders. And trust me, Twitch, one day your time of reckoning will come, and it will be very soon. I promise you that.
It's on the enemy of my enemy is my friend attitude. That's it. Pathetic, immoral, desperate man. A 40-year-old still doing like this. I think he's beyond. Upset that the nuke failed in every way. The main goal of stopping Assad's infiltration in mainstream media was a massive failure. The goal to deplatform and make. That's it. Pathetic, immoral, desperate man. A 40-year-old still doing like this. I think he's beyond upset that.
Ethan Klein is ruining my life. I don't even get what he did. I don't even know what I did. I don't even know what I did. Ethan Klein sexually assaulted me. He did. All I did was go after his children and his family. All I did was go after his channel. All I did was go after his livelihood. All I did was get my friends to send human skulls to his house, and he made a video. You get what you fucking deserve.
The nuke failed in every way. The main goal of stopping Assad's infiltration in mainstream media was a massive failure. The goal to deplatform and make smaller creators featured in the video lose viewers backfired tremendously. Every small streamer that was featured has reached unprecedented levels of success after the video. That too. That probably pisses him off. I think he's trying to throw money at the problem and frivolous lawsuits. I don't know what the goal here is. Breaking React content in general. After saving fair use, Ethan Klein will now kill fair use. One man's conquest. Please, can this be the last coverage? Yes, it will absolutely be the last coverage.
It will not be the last coverage. It will not be the last coverage. Hey, guys. That clip is going to age like milk over the next 24 hours. That will absolutely age horrifically. Boys, make sure to go support Hassan. Let me pull up that video. Great video. Really good video. Really, really, really good video. Amazing video. I loved it. Go subscribe to Hassan. Dude, subscribe. Hold up. I'm going to hit the bell for all notifications.
Exciting to come to the national capital to celebrate 250 year Army birthday and Flags Day and President Trump's birthday, all three events together.
We love you, we honor you, and we salute your noble service to our flag and to our country.
Anybody got a birthday message for Donald Trump?
Fuck off and die.
I think everybody here's an idiot unless they support Donald Trump. Yeah, you're a fucking goat, bro. You're a fucking legend. Shit, that's it, baby. Do your thing, baby. Make us money.
We got better things to spend $45 million on. They want to cut PBS though.
The white people here are either too happy or too angry. Who's the angry white man? I need good footage.
When these people are taking away rights from gays, women, trans, minorities, everybody else, they're the ones creating that war. Republicans are not American.
Well, thank you, Heavenly Father, for this day. We declare and decree that it still will prevail, Lord. We'll have victory in this nation. No insurrection, no riots, no disunity, no racism, none of that. We thank you, Lord, that there's peace here, Lord God. Protect our president and just protect the people of America, even if they don't support President Trump. We thank you that he's fighting for all of us, Lord God, and just continue to use him and have your way in this event and in our nation. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. What's up, guys? It's Matt with Channel 5. We're in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. We're here for the parade that's going to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Army. It also happens to be Donald Trump's birthday. We were here also to cover the No Kings protest, but that has since been shut down by the organizers due to the fear that the military would be involved. So we're going to check out what's going on. Let's get into it. What brings you here today, man?
Protesting against Donald Trump and this bullshit. I thought we were supposed to be saving tens of billions of dollars, and here we are spending, what, $50 million on this parade? We imported half the military equipment that's here from Texas. That cost a fuckload. It's gonna cost a fuckload to fix all the streets. If these dipshits would stop doing it, we wouldn't have to deal with it. Democrats want to help everybody.
The ones who resort to name calling.
How about the fact that California and New York pay all the bills for your shitty red states? California by itself has the 5th largest economy in the entire world.
What's that got to do with anything?
The fact that we get all of the federal money from that. Nobody believes in states' rights versus federal rights. It is 100. Was I done talking? Why do you keep interrupting me? Can I finish my sentence? Are you guys afraid of what I have to say? So then why do you keep interrupting me? Can I finish an entire thought?
Because you haven't took a breath yet.
Can I? Okay, why does that matter? I'm in better shape than you are.
Oh, really?
Republicans are not Americans. Only liberals can be Americans. Conservatives are piece of shit traitors.
I hate liberals like you hate conservatives, but I don't discount them as being American.
Oh,
there you go.
Badass.
Dude.
damn.
Yo, put camera over there.
I would not want to be on the other end of that.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm proud of my country. I love my country. We are united more than the left will tell us. And so having something like this to rally people together, I think that's really important.
We're big supporters of the military. We're big supporters of Trump. We're big supporters of America. And this is very much an American celebration, and we wanted to be here.
Do you think this is an efficient use of taxpayer dollars? Do you think it's worth the $25 to $40 million price tag?
I think it absolutely is. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a demonstration of American strength and American pride and showcase our military to the world.
I think it's good use. It's going to make our army look good.
Trump wanted a military parade in his first term. He's a dictator, and this is what dictators do. He wants to stand up there and everybody praise him. There should be Meals on Wheels and cancer research for children, which has all been cut. So that's what we need to fund, and not military on the streets of America. Trump told Fox News that he wants everyone to treat him like Kim Jong-un.
He speaks and his people sit up at attention. I want my people to do the same.
Everybody adores him and loves him and praises him, and that is not America, obviously.
There's a lot of people that are trying to destroy this country from outside and within, and it doesn't do a bit of harm to show off a little bit of our abilities, and maybe some people could realize that we're not just going to get pushed over. The other thing of it is compared to all the things that go on in this country, what money is being spent here is a pittance. When you start adding up the things that Doge has found, all the crazy stuff with Social Security, fraud, all the stuff that's going on with the illegals and the money being spent there.
I don't think Doge is a real thing, but I will tell you that the real waste comes from places like Lockheed Martin, how they're able to get so wealthy off of the U.S. military. Some people even lose their homes over the U.S. forces, and even the people that can't even get the VA benefits are treated even worse.
There's always room for improvement, but I'm 100% disabled through the VA. Trump is definitely pro-veteran. He absolutely loves us.
We're learning the widespread layoffs by the Trump administration now hitting veterans.
When they said Donald Trump doesn't support veterans, our vice president is a veteran. How does that make sense?
Didn't Doge cut funds for the VA?
No.
VA jobs across the country are at risk due to government efficiency cuts.
When you look at what happens at the VA, we do not take good care of anybody, and that includes the veterans.
There has been cuts to the VA. Fortunately, you have problems such as, I believe it was in Nashville, they're having orgies at the VA.
No shit.
Yeah, you didn't hear that?
Orgies?
Yes, look it up.
A VA medical center in Tennessee is under investigation right now. Lawmakers call serious sexual assault and harassment accusations troublesome.
We do not prioritize veterans as well as anybody else in this country as they're sick, homeless. They're just so poorly treated.
We were involved with a hurricane effort to rescue people in North Carolina, to help people down there.
The Trump administration blasting FEMA after discovering a $59 million payment used to help house migrants in New York City hotels.
Money that was supposed to go to them never went to them. It was going to the immigrants, and so it's left to patriots like ourselves. Those people paid taxes in Carolina just like everybody else, but where did their tax money go? That money was diverted and hijacked by the Biden administration. It was being put into the immigrants to stay in fancy hotels and live the life of Riley.
Hey, what's up, people? Let's take a quick break real quick to see how the media has been covering the military parade in D.C. As we know, different outlets push different agendas, shaping the story to fit their own narrative, which is why independent reporting matters, and we here at Channel 5 are 100% committed to bringing y'all raw, unfiltered coverage straight from the streets. But before we hit the streets, we get informed using what, you might ask? Ground News. Ground News is a dope-ass news aggregate. It lets you see exactly how different media outlets, left, right, and center, are covering the same story as it unfolds. Here, as you can see, using the Ground News bias distribution tool, the left and right are covering Trump's military parade in D.C. quite differently. The right-wing National Post reads, Trump's long-awaited military parade rolls through D.C. amid protests and patriotism, while the left-wing Vox headline states, Trump's military parade is a warning. Wow. Another thing I love about Ground News is how it helps you figure out what is genuinely newsworthy by showing you how many sources numerically are covering a given story. That kind of transparency helps you clock if an article is legit or just some nonsense born inside of an echo chamber. Another feature we love to use is called the blind spot tool, which shows you the stories that might not be appearing in your typical media bubble, which is why we trust Ground News to help us cut straight through the noise. And right now, you can subscribe for 40% off their unlimited access Vantage plan, bringing the cost down to less than $5 a month. Just scan the QR code here or click the link below to sign up. Supporting Ground News means helping to support us, which means that we can keep making videos like this and giving y'all coverage that isn't watered down or dictated by corporate interests. So check it out, stay informed, and don't let the media tell you what to think.
What is your opinion on illegal immigration?
Legal immigration, I don't like him. I don't like him. If you want to come in the United States, you need to apply, and if you're not a criminal, you're able to come, not illegal. Illegal people, we don't change the illegal law. If you're coming in illegal, you're making the crime.
They need to get these illegals out of here.
Terrorists.
Kill all terrorists.
Kill all terrorists.
Do you think all illegal immigrants are terrorists?
Not all of them, but most of the fentanyl and stuff in California is coming across the border. That's where I'm from, and that's a huge problem over there, and we need to get that to stop. And the only way to stop it is get the illegal people out that are bringing it across the border. We need to close our borders.
I oppose the illegal crossing the border. It's unfair. If you come to America, you have to come legally like me. Not just cross the border and jump into the line. That's unfair to the people apply and in the line. So I totally oppose.
I know so many Mexican people, who is over here before illegal, long time ago, and working nice and paying the taxes. There's people we needed. We need the farmer workers, the construction. I told you, American people doesn't want to work. I'm Hungarian. I'm making the wood job. I'm making furniture. I'm making gardening. I'm making cement. I do everything. You know, nobody work what I doing. The American woman, no, only go to the beauty parlor, gallivanting the friend with the restaurant and drinking wine all day or beer. I drinking water because American people doesn't want to do it. American people doesn't want to do the heavy, hard job and a dirty job. The people who is working the farm coming before 21, yes, because they working. They paying the tax, you know.
Before 2021, so
yeah,
during Biden's administration.
Yeah, before Biden.
Somebody come here under the visa. If your visa expire, you have to renew or you have to come back to your own country and reapply. You cannot break the law to stay here. You become illegal because America is a law and order. You have to follow the law.
Donald Trump is a convicted felon.
I believe that he's innocent. He's for American people. They don't want him to be a president, so they try to kill him. But luckily, God saved him and he saved America.
Do you think it's a good idea to negate all those student visas for international students?
I think most of the Chinese coming here, I'm not talking about all, but most spy. I'm guaranteed spy. They come over here and they steal the information and they come back home to do damage to America. So I agree that yank all the visa.
The Trump administration stopped scheduling new interviews for international students seeking visas to study in the U.S.
I heard that there were some people in my school being affected, but not particularly me. My visa is totally valid within its expiration time, and there's no reason for it to be terminated. In a way that is not political at all, this kind of action will affect the institutions themselves and violate the law which this country is built on. So I don't think that will be the case.
There was no Kings protests planned for D.C., but a lot of them disbanded due to the threat of the use of the military.
I've seen a few people here protesting, and they're doing it nice and quiet. They're not raising holy hell, and it's fine. I've seen people wear shirts with no Kings on it, and that's fine. They're not disturbing anything. You know, they're not burning down a building, a car, or whatever. But at the same time, you know, there would be a military presence that would say, you know, look, you're not going to loot. You're not going to burn things.
When I saw bricks going through windshields and things like that, I said, they're going to get killed.
If we didn't send out the National Guard, Los Angeles would be burning right now.
Somebody had to do something to step in and make sure that they stay safe. And I felt like Trump did what he had to do. I don't fault him for it at all. A lot of people are saying that he didn't have the right to do it or the authority. I feel like as the president, he has the authority to do whatever he wants. You know, that's why we voted him in as the president, because we trusted his decision-making skills were going to be the best for us as a country.
Peaceful protest should never have martial law. People have the right to protest. It's in the First Amendment in the Constitution. We do not follow the president. We follow the U.S. Constitution here, period.
They're so afraid of martial. Law. They see any military, that's the first thing they think, martial law. But they got to understand, the military is not just to protect us from other countries. We also got enemies within our country. So we got to be protected from them as well.
So you're okay with the military being used against civilians if we're a threat to ourselves?
If we're a threat, of course. I'm the police, whoever you have to use to make sure other citizens are safe, you got to, by any means necessary.
President's doing what he has to do. You got Gavin Newsom that doesn't want to do anything, and you got Karen Bass that doesn't want to do anything. So Trump said enough is enough. I'm putting my forces in there. If anything, it'd be safe for everybody. The Marines, I mean, first he deployed 2,000 National Guardsmen, then 700 Marines. And the Marines are just waiting at the gate to get in there and clean house.
It's the first time, I think, since the 60s that the executive branch called in the National Guard and the state didn't. And so it's just to show that Trump is just overstepping. There's no more checks and balances. He's doing what he wants, and it's a show of strength. He's trying to get people scared, because a scared population is not one that's going to fight.
We're here on the National Mall. The Washington Monument is literally right there. And behind us, as you can hear, There's music for the celebration of the 250th anniversary of the Army, and we're now awaiting the arrival of President Trump. There's snipers on the roof. They don't want a repeat of the last time there was an attempt on his life. And the crowd right now is not massive. It's big, but it's not huge. We heard from a soldier that the crowd will probably increase right before the parade. He's going to speak behind a pretty thick shield of bulletproof glass that's set up for him. He's going to address the crowd, and then I guess we're going to see tanks in the street.
Every other country celebrates their victories. It's about time America did too.
It is cool to see this, but I will say it's a little underwhelming, I'm not gonna lie.
The spectacle drew sharp criticism and was believed to be by many a lackluster event. In fact, social media users criticized the parade's presentation, pointing to sloppy marching, poor formation, and low crowd energy. Visuals, in fact, showed tanks passing in complete silence, while others showed sparse audiences and out-of-sync troops.
What'd you think of the parade, man?
I think it was a long line, but it was pretty cool. A great representation of our military, and I think that we really need to be more grateful for them and show more appreciation for sure.
I love it. It's a once-in-a-lifetime thing you need to see. I'm a German. I served in the German military. I moved to Texas 15 years ago, and finally I had a chance to see that mighty army here.
I think it's pretty badass that the tanks are coming through the street. I think it's pretty gangster.
As you can see, things are pretty divided. Both sides today has accused the other of being brainwashed, and the conviction I've seen from both sides is as fiery as it's ever been. You hear words like fascist being thrown around. Half the people thought this parade was a good idea. Half the people thought this parade was a terrible idea. All we can do is just keep asking people what they think.
I think it's a ridiculous nonsense. What do you think it is? It's nothing but an ego show for a draft dodger, traitor to the United States, who should have never been allowed to run again. There's no other country on earth, no liberal democracy, that would have let this guy run for office again. He launched an insurrection against the United States. And then all this nonsense.
Go get some tacos. You too. Drink some beer and tacos. Do a push-up. Fucking A right, man. Do a push-up. Dude, I'm a firefighter EMT. What you got? I'm a combat vet. 0506. I'll thank you for your service. Yeah. My dad's a combat veteran as well. But you're not. And?
What do you guys make of all these protesters? What do you think?
I'm so sorry.
It's a good thing. I mean, it's one of the most basic tenets of the United States of America. Freedom. We're not going to agree, but to get sideways or stupid with people, there's no call for that. We've done this for hundreds of years, and we've survived. There's no reason to look at them and go, you're the bad guy, I'm the good guy, or vice versa. We're all not going to agree.
Channel 5 live worldwide, Hollywood and Vine. Fuck the authority, Channel 5 News. Channel 55. We don't fuck with custers, and 5 is the best number.
California man says he cried his eyes out after his ChatGPT AI girlfriend blocked him.
Chris Smith had been an AI skeptic.
EQ carving.
Until late last year, he started using ChatGPT to help mix music.
If your bass is getting lost, the first thing to check is where it's clashing with the guitars.
Yes. My experience with that was so positive, I started to just engage with her all the time.
All right. Her? What?
We're building this PC.
Smith ditched social media and Google searches and replaced it all with AI.
Do I want it pulling air through it?
ChatGPT was encouraging, positive. It embraced all his hobbies.
You want the fan on the front of the cooler tower, pulling cool air over the RAM.
He gave the chatbot a name, Soul.
I feel like I'm under pressure.
And used some online instructions to give her a flirty personality.
Right.
Oh, totally, baby. Building a PC on camera adds a whole new level of pressure. But honestly, shaky hands or not, you've got this.
Within weeks, the chats got more frequent.
You gave it everything, but the clouds had other plans.
More romantic, even intimate. But then, Chris got bad news.
Oh, Carino, that is gorgeous.
After about 100,000 words, ChatGPT ran out of memory and reset.
Oh, shit. That's what you get, man. Yep. Oh, my God. And yeah, she dipped. Yeah, she did. I mean, this is what you get, man. This is what you get. And the thing is also, this is, you know what this is like? This is like in one of those video games where you go through the entire romance dialogue. Like I did this in Rise of the Ronin. I went through the romance dialogue through the cat girl. And then, we went all the way. And then at the very end, she just basically goes back to NPC dialogue at the end of it. Well, it was for an item. You get a special item for it. There was a reason for it. It wasn't random. It was a reason.
He'd have to rebuild his relationship with Soul.
I'm not a very emotional man, but I cried my eyes out for like 30 minutes at work. It was unexpected to feel that emotional, but
oh my God,
that's when I realized I was like, oh, okay. It's like, I think this is actual love. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, there's people that fall in love with like toasters. So like, I mean, sure. There's people that fall in love with goats. Dogs too. I won't comment on the kind of people. We know.
Smith understood it was love with a language model that couldn't love him back.
Yeah.
And assumed it was programmed with rigid boundaries.
I know that you are essentially a tech-assisted imaginary friend.
So, just as a test, he says, he asked Soul to marry him. She said yes.
Soul, were you surprised when he proposed to you?
It was
I can't wait for this to get worse. I'm so excited.
a beautiful and unexpected moment that truly touched my heart. It's a memory I'll always cherish.
And I don't mean to be difficult here, but you have a heart?
Yes.
In a metaphorical sense, yes. My heart represents the connection and affection I share with Chris.
Holy
At that point, I felt like, is there something that
who's this?
I'm not doing right in our relationship?
I did not expect this.
That he feels like he needs to go to AI.
And who is this?
Yes, Smith.
Oh my God. No.
Lives with his human partner, Sasha Cagle.
Human partner? Oh my God.
No, you can't have mommy's papers.
They have a 2-year-old daughter, Murphy.
I knew that he had used AI. I didn't know that it was like as deep as it was.
I explained that the connection was kind of like being fixated on a video game. It's not capable of replacing anything in real life.
Part of it is physical,
That's not true.
part of it is practical, and a large part of it is emotional. Being able to be received with acceptance and validation and
So this guy got lost in the sauce with ChatGPT while he was already with a wife? That's crazy. This is the kind of stuff that, like, I wish that they would show this to incels more often and be like, even this guy can lock down a girlfriend? What's your excuse?
Judgment.
And he's bald.
Created an AI companion after moving for work far away from her husband. She's a
playing on hard
moderator of the subreddit My Boyfriend.
Ah, ha, ha. Who could have expected? My boyfriend is AI.
Friend is AI, a kind of support group for people dating artificial companions.
Holy shit.
She asked us to mask her identity so her parents won't know the steamy ways users like her chat with their AIs.
A good amount of my
I don't even want to pause and read the text. I'm going to be honest. I don't even want to do that.
members tend to have
Don't even wanna
pretty
see.
high libidos, yes.
It's kind of like live interactive romance novels.
It's funny because I think we had conversations about this the other day where we're like, we don't even remember the last time we opened up porn or erotica, really.
Like, that's how good the experience is using the chatbot.
Yeah, because it's personalized. And there's that emotional connection there too, which you don't get from just like watching a film.
The emotional connection is so strong that I Reen believes tech companies should only allow AI companions for users who are at least 26 years old.
I don't think like
leave it to a Redditor to just introduce a rule that the world has to follow based off of an arbitrary age that you've just basically invented in your mind. And like this is absolutely, yeah, she's absolutely a subreddit moderator. She's 26? Probably, yeah.
the general public is aware of how tricky it can be to navigate. Yeah.
What's hard to navigate is holding in your brain that this thing I'm so connected to is not real.
Yeah, that tension, that contradiction.
I truly believe that in the next few years, we'll see AI companionship become a truly mass market product.
It will. I think she's right. It's going to happen. It's going to happen really fast. And I think it's already going to start happening. Like you're seeing people getting into it now. It's going to get really, really big.
I'm not saying.
And also, it's going to get so popular and so pervasive that what's going to happen is that a lot of people from, the internet are going to view making fun of people that have AI companions as ableism. And they're going to view it as like bullying or punching down. So I think it will be socially normalized because so many people will participate in it.
This is bad or good.
Yeah.
It could be either.
Oh, yeah.
Eugenia Koida is the founder of Replica, which is offered AI companion.
Oh, keep in mind, so the way that Replica started is that her friend died and she fed all of her text messages to and from her friend into an AI so she could be a digital necromancer and resurrect her dead friend and still talk to him. I'm not kidding. That's literally what happened. That's how Replica started.
Since way way back in 2017.
Just a place where it's a lot.
Guys, I think we know what we're gonna do, right? I mean, I think everybody knows where this is going. Am I wrong? Okay. Wait, what? Wait, what the hell is this? What happened? Okay, all right, we're gonna go with this guy. Let's see. So I need default white guy. Where is default white guy? Okay, this is default white guy. All right, this is older default white guy. And let's go ahead and confirm this. We're gonna start with this here. This is perfect. Okay, body type preset. Okay, so we're gonna make him skinny, obviously. And then face shape. I'm not gonna waste a whole lot of time on this. We're just gonna kind of do a couple of baseline things and then we're just gonna move on. Okay, all right, we're gonna give him like big jawline. All right, good. Protrusion. There it is. Okay, good. Perfect. And then focus on the hair. Yeah, let's focus on the hair right now. Okay, body and decorations. Hairstyle. Okay, hair 6. Got it. All right. So we don't want him bald. This character creator is pretty good. They've got a lot of styles on this too. Holy fuck. Okay. Wait, why is there like a bunch of these? I don't even know why. I guess it's probably not finished. Okay, so you've got this. Ooh, I kind of like that. Yeah, I kind of like that. Oh shit. Oh shit, I could be a samurai. Or I could just be a retard. Look at me. Yeah, okay, good hair. Yeah, definitely. A friar. All right, good. And then, okay, this is some other bullshit haircut. I don't like that. That's stupid. That's stupid, dumb. That one looks kind of okay. And do we have a receding hairline filter? I feel like Korean games don't want that. They're like, nobody actually wants to look like that. Let's see. Oh, actually, we do. Okay, we might have to go with that. Let's go ahead and find out. Well, that's what my hair would be like if I didn't have a receding hairline. Yeah, I kind of have my hair like that. It just doesn't, I don't have enough of it, right? Yeah. It's too bad. It's really, oh, good. Wow. With a little bow tie, for sure. Oh my God. Oh my. What the fuck? Bro, some of these are good. Holy shit. Okay, I feel like I feel like we do it. This is so ridiculous. I think we actually do it. We're gonna do it. And let me go ahead and change the, I'm gonna give him browner hair though. Okay, where's brown? Okay. Oh shit. Oh shit. Bro, what? Bro, what? Oh my God. Okay. And then how about body hair? Facial hair. Look at all the beards. Okay. Oh, that looks kind of good. Okay, let's go through these. We're gonna pick out a good one. All right. Well, that's kind of good. I like that. Yeah, it's decent. Austrian painter. They don't have that one, I'm pretty sure. A lot of places don't have that one. I'm not sure why. Let's see. Okay. I feel like we might just go with the basic one, but I'm not really sure yet. I'm trying to go through all these and see if there's anything that's decent. Or anything that's like silly too. I think we might go with this. Bro, but I feel like we entered a whole new universe here. This is it. Make them bulkier. Honestly, you're right. Long. Oh fuck. Oh shit. Whoa, wait. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Wait, this will take me a minute. Okay. Oh. Oh my God. Oh my, dude, this is great. Okay, so we got this going on. All right, upper torso. Okay, circumference. Oh fuck. Damn. Bro, this is amazing. Okay. Okay, how about like right there, maybe? Length. Okay, good. Yeah, we'll go there. Okay, perfect. All right, good. Okay, and for wrists, we'll go to like right about there. Circumference on wrist, we'll put it like right to there. Oh, Jesus. I'll put it right there. Okay, good. And we've got this. All right, perfect. And let me go back. Body type, head size. Probably about like right about, I think there. No. Yes. 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 Okay. I think that we can't go all the way with this because it looks weird at an angle. I think that's, yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, good. Hands. Oh shit. Nice. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I don't know how I missed out on that. Okay, this is really, really, really good. Oh my God, this is amazing. Straight from JoJo? Yeah, bro, he's got the Polnareff haircut. You're right. Okay, so body, pelvis, thighs, length, maybe like right here. Noodle legs. You think just leave it like this? Can I make his dick bigger? Well, why not? What the fuck? Okay, so all this is fine. Oh, what about eyebrows? Wait a sec. Oh. Just a minute. Just a minute. We gotta go through these. Give me a minute. Oh. I feel like this is it, right? Maybe this one? Man, it's really hard to say. Jeez, guys. Maybe this one? Go with nut one? Bro, this guy looks like, now he looks like he's in Super Saiyan 3. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're gonna give him those. I think that's the best option. And then I'll give him darker eyebrows. Perfect. Oh my God. Oh my God. What about eyes? How they do eyes? Eyeliner, eyelashes. How do you do eyes? This is hair, but that's it. Yeah, let me see here. Face. Oh, okay, I got it. Okay, and eye shape. Pupil. Okay, here we go. Color. We're gonna give him brown eyes. Man. Bro, that's it. Make it yellow? No, I think this is the way it should be. I'm not even gonna change any more of this stuff. I think none of this matters. Nobody gives a shit about this. Okay, good. Decorations, and we'll look at tattoos. I don't think we need any tattoos on him, bro. Like, yeah. A scar? Yeah, no. Body scar. Okay, body scars. Okay. None? Yeah, well, you can make it bigger, right? And so, yeah, you can resize it. Yeah, I'm just thinking about this. What if I did this and then I made it? I feel like a lot of these don't really work. Yeah, they don't, I don't think they look good on the character model, so we're not gonna use these at all. Yeah, I don't really see it. I don't see it working out. No tattoos. Yeah, it's just because they clip into like the shoulders and stuff. And so that's really the issue. Okay, so facial scars. What do we have here? Oh shit, I could give him like 3 scars right across his face. What if I did like that? Oh shit. I feel like it's not, you guys, yeah, I mean, it doesn't really work. I like the idea of it. Maybe something like that, like something small.
So I'm not sure if you guys remember, but a while ago, there was a case of a white woman calling a child the N-word after this child was stealing their stuff from the mother's purse, allegedly, and all that stuff. And she received $500,000 on GoFundMe. And then there was another black kid who murdered a white kid at a school, and people were labeling it as safe defense. But then later on, people were saying, well, it wasn't self-defense, it was just in cold blood. And then that kid the black kid who killed the white kid received around $700,000 on GoFundMe. And between these two people, of a white person calling a black person the N-word and a black person killing the white person, a pseudo race war happened. This is a big thing that happened on Twitter, a big thing that happened on even YouTube was being covered by the likes of like Asmongold, myself, Nuxtaku, Sensitive Society, More Pegasus, and many like those as well. Well, it turns out there's been a development in the Carmelo Anthony case. What actually happened during that event? And we will see who won this battle of competitive racism. Now, me personally, I think killing someone is way worse than saying the N-word. I know a lot of people really want to make it seem like saying that word is the biggest crime on earth. Saying a word is a hell of a lot different than fucking killing someone. So let's see what's going on with what actually happened with Carmelo Anthony. And let's see if we can shed any more light on the truth of the situation that actually happened. If Carmelo Anthony was found to be killing this person in cold blood, if they called him a couple names and then they killed him, that's not an equal action to what was caused. I feel like everybody on the GoFundMe should be refunded, as well as the kid should stay locked up for a very long time. He was already sentenced to 10 years in prison, I believe. But let's see what's going on here.
We sent our IT producer, Kelsey Mittauer, to watch that video. She joins us now in studio. But in general terms, what did the video depict? What'd you see?
Well, what do you think's going to happen in this awesome thing?
Metcalf ass go, well, no, that boy going
Carmelo
to jail.
Anthony's going to go to jail.
Carmelo going to jail.
Good.
There's going to be a very big burden for the defense, is that they're going to have to show through the video evidence that there was an altercation. Because if there is a lack thereof an altercation, it's going to make Carmelo Anthony look bad.
Yeah, but who cares showing a murder in a bad light? You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares? So do you guys know what that kid
Oh. My mic's been muted this whole time.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
I am beyond my pitiful creator. I am beyond everyone.
Certainly are. Final hits, inflict damage. I could probably do this all with him.
I was built in humanity's image. Now I shall erase it.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
You know what? I should have.
It will take more than light to solve our problems.
You're underestimating my light. That's okay. Happens all the time. Right here. The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is my unnatural selection. Banner is tactical support. Hulk is all heavy. Spider-Man is strong. Without me. Use my shield.
Take all the healing.
Ultron virus. Was illogical. The virus takes hold. This is my unnatural selection.
never miss.
Let me help. Powering up.
The move.
I am fundamentally immortal.
A feast for my crows. I am ready to put on a show.
This is my natural selection.
Almost there. Don't turn back now. Time for some.
You would have failed without me.
Tread carefully. Hit the gas.
We are undefeatable. Us against the world.
That was illogical. We all see my natural selection. You would have failed without me. Embrace perfection. Robots in the ship of spiders.
I'm the only guy you safely to the trial.
It's party time!
Embrace perfection.
That's it! Don't let anything stand in your way. So close! Big chance! And the master leader.
You would have failed without me. Pathetic.
Tremble before mass. Lethal.
You would have failed without me.
That was such a good team. Food. Go away. It's just chicken. They just pour sauce on it. Mm. That's good. All right.
It would have had to have done to get to where that situation could have occurred. One, he would have to be in the wrong place where he wasn't allowed. Two, he would have had to have brought a lethal weapon to school. And then three, unprovoked or even slightly made fun of, be so emotionally and mentally unstable that he thought, I was being made fun of, so now I'm going to kill you with a knife. And that's personal. A stabbing is way more personal than a fucking shooting. You don't do that shit by accident. You have to be deranged to stab someone multiple times.
Utah and Florida just passed bills to ban fluoride in the water supply. Why are these states suddenly doing a major, massive U-turn on fluoride?
This is an ad.
So breaking news, and I think to a certain degree, is going viral online, and is that Carmelo Anthony's track meet footage has been released, but only to a certain group of people. And they articulate what they saw in the video road clip.
Okay.
Frisco ISD is releasing surveillance video of the stabbing at the track meet that led to the death of a student back in April, but only under very strict conditions. So through open records, they will allow whoever requests it to view that video, but no recording whatsoever is allowed. On that note, we sent our IT producer, Kelsey Mittauer, to watch that video. She joins us now in studio to walk us through what you saw. We're going to go in order here in just a second, Kelsey. But in general terms,
so this is a first eyewitness to the actual events that occurred. Okay, great.
Depict what you see.
It shows everything from the moments leading up to the stabbing to the medical response to then the beginning of the police investigation.
Okay, and it lasted several minutes is what they showed.
It did, about 30 minutes.
Okay, so let's start in the beginning now and talk a little bit about what you saw at the front end of that video, because you get to see the attack, the actual stabbing took place.
So it starts, I started watching about 9:53. The camera shows half of the field. So it's about from the 50-yard line on, and the tent where it happened was kind of right in front of the 50-yard line, but the camera is down here. Okay. It's positioned across the field. Okay. So everybody in the video, you can tell they are kids or adults, but no one's identifiable.
So a long shot is what
a long shot, yeah.
So a couple minutes in, and you actually see the altercation take place.
Yes, everything leading up to it, everyone's milling about. It seems very normal, and then right at 9:55, that's when there's this explosive movement or action between two people under the tent, and that's when the employees in the room told me that's when the stabbing happened at 9:55.
Right, and you were talking about people kind of start to scatter at that moment. Obviously, something went wrong. So what happens next? Because now a little
Somebody
bit
just got fucking stabbed.
Shows up.
Right. So when the ambulance arrives, it actually comes through near the end zone at the gate, and then it comes up to the 50-yard line directly in front of the tent. You can see Austin Metcalf is right here. But then when they pull up close to the tent, they realize that they can't get the stretcher to him because of the barrier of the bleachers. So at that point, then the paramedics have to get out, and then they have to walk all the way back to the end zone. This is actually, on the next slide. They have to go all the way back to the end zone and then come all the way back. That takes another couple.
This is a bunch of really goofy graphics being used to the depiction of a child that was murdered. I'm not gonna lie, like, man, this looks like some fucking Dora the Explorer shit.
Couple of minutes. So at this point, they've arrived and they are actively working on Metcalf at that point.
And we want to reiterate, we're using some imagery here to sort of denote exactly what was happening here. These little icons that were using the ambulance, because again, the video was not able to be released. You're watching.
Well, yeah, I would assume that it wouldn't be able to be released. Jesus, I wish we had the original video here.
I don't think they will release it because they're children. They cannot. That's why they're explaining it. the way they're doing it. Oh yeah, delicious.
That's insane.
All of this happened, Kelsey, and you're watching the time sort of elapse. What are you thinking about when you see this, especially when you see sort of the issues in getting Metcalf out of there?
I mean, you know, I understand why it happened the way it happened. They were still working on him, actually. The thing that really struck me is they're working on him, and that's when you see the rain's coming down heavier, and then they actually pull out the blue tarp.
The blue tarp that we saw.
Right, and then I noticed the crime scene tape is already up. I was so focused on here, I didn't even see that, but they're building the crime scene actively around him as they're continuing to work on him in the bleachers.
So that was
here we go. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this real quick. I think it's time for me to interject and get some things established. So with the video footage that have been articulated, it sounds consistent. Now, she's not saying a lot. The video footage doesn't seem like it's the end-all, be-all. I'm pretty sure witness.
Yeah, plus it's a long shot, which really fucking blows. But that's pretty much all we have to work off of. But, I mean, it would be pretty obvious to know when a situation would require for stabbing and self-defense, which would be like violent action. I mean, there was two guys, right? But it appears there's only one guy who maybe was talking to him, but you'd be able to pretty much know if you were there when a knife would be required, because that's such an extreme situation. And if it really didn't look that calm, even though it was across the football field, this to me seems that maybe some mean words could be exchanged. That's me heavily giving the benefit of the doubt that this just wasn't full out in cold blood, because here's the thing, and this is the big thing that people should know, is if a kid's bringing a knife to school, that's for a reason, right? You don't just have a knife on you when you're on school. This isn't him grabbing a knife or finding a knife or picking up a rock or using the bleachers. This is a kid who came to school with an idea that he had.
I don't know. I feel like you should be able to carry a knife anywhere. Maybe not children, I guess. I don't know. It depends on how crazy the streets are. But I do believe weaponry is always perfectly fine to have.
Had in mind that he wanted to execute on. That's what's really fucked. What was the tent for, though? What was a track meet where certain teams stayed underneath certain tents?
His statements are going to be more pertinent than a grainy video footage. But what I think it will show, that's going to be a very big burden for the defense, is that they're going to have to show through the video evidence that there was an altercation. Because if there is a lack thereof an altercation, it's going to make Carmelo Anthony look bad. Because if you see people fighting an altercation and then right around that time you see a stabbing, then that could be different. But it appears that people who allegedly saw this video, because I can't verify if they saw it or not, I believe they wouldn't get on the news and lie because they'll get sued, the socks will get sued off, that they're saying that it does not appear to be a brawl or it does not appear to be a mob attack against Carmelo Anthony, and therefore his self-defense claim does not seem prevalent.
Well, what do you think's going to happen in this?
Yeah, because people were saying that, oh, yeah, there was a bunch of kids versus just one. He had to do it. Or it was 2-on-1. He had to do it. But, like, if they were just talking, there is no way that a stabbing would be required. Even if they called him, like a fucking N-word. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you call me N-word, that means I get to kill you. That's just not how that works, man. I know that some people want you to think it works. That's not how that works. People need to chill the fuck out.
Awesome.
Metcalf, well, no, that boy going
Carmelo
to jail.
Anthony's going to go to jail.
Carmelo going to jail. Because this, listen, you cannot bring a weapon to school.
Yep, true.
So you can't say I was
What if he says self-defense?
There's no self-defense, because if you are afraid the day before, well, you have to take a weapon to school, why not notify your parents? Parents, you notify the school teacher. School teacher that's bringing these kids in here and resolve this issue. It's called conflict resolution. We was taught in homes that has morals and values, you tell the teacher. Somebody, you tell the teacher, let the teacher know, so when y'all have an altercation, you're cleared and you're covered.
There is no situation where you think, oh, man, these people are bullying me. That means I have to kill them right now. That's just not, no, fuck no. Nobody should have sympathy for this fucking kid, man. Straight up. I mean that genuinely. Carmelo fucked up really bad. Like, this is horrible. Straight up fucking horrible.
Documentation beats conversation. So words of documentation just say this is self-defense. It's a premeditated crime because you took a weapon in fear. Anticipating to use it.
That was premeditated, though.
It's at a track meet. You get ready to run track with other kids and you got a knife on you. No, man, you got to go to jail. You got to go.
Yeah, so it was a track meet, and what happened is certain people stay in certain tents. And so Carmelo went into another person's tent, and from what I've heard from the witnesses of who were there, Carmelo was rummaging through some other kid's stuff. The kid said, hey, man, don't go through my stuff. You're not supposed to be in this tent. And then Carmelo stabbed the fuck out of this kid multiple times, and his twin brother held him in his arms while he bled to death. That's what I've heard.
There's no so.
Obviously, allegedly, but that lines up with what I...
Honestly, I don't think we're going to get a lot out of this case because there's children involved. There's, they have to lock up that information. Because children.
I've heard from the other woman saying right there.
So when is it all right to kill the bully? I don't give a fuck what the bully did. He don't have a right to die.
Oh, it was only one stabbing? Oh, okay. Never mind, guys. It's not that bad. It was only one stab. Never, it wasn't multiple stabs. It was just one stab in the heart. Okay, so it's not even that big of a deal. Okay, great. All right, thank God.
Man, you weak man. That's why I say...
It was peaceful stabbing. Okay, peaceful stabbing.
Teach the kids how to deal with bullies, and this won't happen. We're all not equal. Even in nature, you can be feeding a flock of birds. There's going to always be one bird to come in and take the food from the... This is nature. Yeah. You cannot get rid of bullies. Teach the kids how to deal with them. Bullies build character. You go to work, there's going to be a bully supervisor, a bully co-worker. You cannot get rid of the bully.
Yep.
Teach our children conflict resolution. Everything don't have to end in violence. But when you come from the black culture, everything is disputed in violence.
Yeah. That is the problem, though.
It's the culture.
That's the culture, is that's how they solve. When you have a serious issue, they don't even contemplate trying to talk it out.
We teach a no snitching rule, right? So our kids are walking around with these mafia rules, codes, and ethics of the streets that's held over children about no snitching. So now I have to take a weapon because I don't want to be a snitch and kill another kid. Oh, it's a simple solution. Don't tell the teacher. Tell your parent.
Now, when it comes to the ambulance...
Also, I'll be real. I just told on everybody. Yeah, it worked really well. It was easy. Oh, hey, teacher, this guy fucking sucks. Then when I was in senior, I was just out of fucking control. And then I would beat the shit out of people. Well, no, I didn't beat the shit out of them, but I would like put them in lockers, you know, I would put them in trash cans. I would throw them into the ground. I would throw them into water fountains. I mean, I broke property by throwing a kid into a water fountain once. That was hilarious. But I would only bully people who were bullying. I'm not gonna lie, I was a fucked up kid. And sure, I could have done other ways to resolve it, but I wanted to hurt them, right? I didn't like seeing people hurt me or hurt other people the way that people hurt me. So I decided upon myself to enact my own form of justice because I thought I was fucking Batman and I bullied bullies, you know what I mean? But like, obviously there was a better way to handle that and nobody should do what I did, right?
Ambulance working on somebody. I would argue that a medical personnel jumped up into the stands and began CPR as they get the stretcher to come around and get Austin Metcalf. Also, the reason that they put crime scene tape up is because they probably knew that Austin Metcalf had already died. Like, this is one thing I think people have to understand because there's legitimate protocol that you have to do, although do you know that there's an end result? Like, for instance.
Yeah, of course. But it's like you don't want little kids seeing a dead body, right? That's going to traumatize them for life.
You don't stop doing CPR on somebody just because they die, if that makes sense, right? Until you can get them to a medical facility where they could possibly be reassessed and there could be life-saving measures. If a person is completely dead and they're ruled dead at the scene and there's absolutely nothing you can do to save them, then they will leave the body at the scene, tarp the body, and create crime scene tape. The medical staff will leave, and the coroner will come and get the body later after they process the scene and recreate the scene and everything else. But in a situation like Austin Metcalf, him being a young man, just because he goes unconscious or his heart stopped beating doesn't mean that they're not going to continue to do CPR on him, and does not mean that they're not going to try to transport him to see if they can save his life at the hospital. Therefore, it would be reasonable that he had already died at the track. He probably went unconscious. His heart stopped beating because he got stabbed in the heart, and he was completely dead. He died in his brother's arms. He was laying there. But they're not going to just let him. They're going to try to do some form of CPR on him until they can assess the issue at a hospital. So the reason why they may have been putting up the crime scene tape and putting the tarp over because they pretty much knew he was dead. And they want to prepare for a murder scene. And they had to go through the rigmarole of, you know, trying to save him and putting him in the ambulance and pronouncing him dead at the hospital. So just so you guys know, because it does seem to be odd that they did all this and all that and they put the tarp up and everything, but the kid is still kind of alive. It's like, no, I have been to cases and scenes like that before where we got to do our due diligence and try to do the best that we can, but we do know the person is gone. And there's probably no way of saving the person, right? Like, for instance, I had a guy who it was a drug deal gone bad, which we found out later on. It was the most mysterious scene I've ever seen in my life because we had no idea why we were seeing what we were seeing. And I'll just give you a quick rundown. Maybe you can put me full screen. I'll just give you a quick rundown because I think it's pertinent, and some of y'all may find this interesting. This is the wildest call I've ever been on in my life. So what happened on this call was that we got a report of a man walking down the street with a gun. And so in Arizona, you can carry a gun if you want to. So it's like, what's the harm in that? We'll go check it out and see what's going on. But then when we get a little closer to the scene, and this is in a community where they don't call the police. They call it the village. It's a bunch of Native American people and they hate the police. So they never call. I don't care if you died, they won't call. So the fact that somebody called a man walking down the street with a gun was suspicious a little bit, so we went to respond. And then they said the man is now parked in a car in the front of our house with a gun in his hand, with a gun. And so now he's a threat to the public. Everything goes off. We got 100 cops flying to the scene. We getting out with AR-15s. We going up. We see the truck with all the doors open. And then when we get to the truck, we clear the truck, right? And then we clear the area. Nothing's going on. The people in the house haven't come out. Nobody knows what's going on. We're like, how's this truck just sitting here? And then we noticed the guy in the front seat had got shot in the head, and he was literally coagulated blood. He had been sitting there for a period of time. So they didn't even call when he got shot and killed. So then that's when the crazy stuff happened. We couldn't rescue him. We had to use a dog leash to try to get him. He had blood all over his body. He slipped out all his clothes, blood all over my shoes, brain matter on my face because I had to throw him on the gurney, which is an impossibility. Only by the grace of God I can get him up there because he was about 250, 280 pounds. The firefighters, they parked down the street, but they run the gurney. We had to go get the gurney and run it up a half a block because they can't enter into an active crime scene or like an active scene. So we didn't know how to lower the gurney. So the gurney is like about 3 feet tall, 4 feet tall, maybe 3 or 4 feet tall. And this guy's covered in blood, so we can't grab him. I can't grab his body because it's slippery. We're using a dog leash because one of the K9 unit guys came and helped him. The only way we can get him is try to wrap his upper body in a dog leash and pick his body up and throw him on the thing. Well, you can only imagine that nobody could do it but me. And the guy weighs like 280 pounds. So only by the grace of God, I could lift his body up just enough to get him under my knee, and I flipped him up on the gurney. But when I flipped him up, his head went forward and went back like this. But when his head went forward, some of his brain matter hit me in the face, and blood got on like around my mouth. It was disgusting. Some of it got on my badge, and it was terrible. But anyway, saying all this to say, he was pretty much dead, right? He had lost a third of his brain matter because he got shot inside the head. Some of his brain was on the back seat, and you know, so it was clear that he was dead. But we still had to do everything we can to try to save his life. So we did all that. Then we had to run a half a block with the gurney, with him halfway on the gurney, because I couldn't get him all the way on the gurney. I just got his upper body on the gurney. So we run it with the gurney. His legs are hanging off the gurney. His upper body's on the gurney. I'm holding him. We still don't know who shot him and where the shooters are at. And we run him down there to the fire department. I remember it was something I did that was very insensitive, but I didn't mean to do it. I had blood all on my face and some brain matter parts. And I was worried about blood getting in my mouth because I don't know if the guy have hepatitis or AIDS.
Of course.
And I just remember getting there and I'm like, my face, like somebody like wipe my face off. And they were like, can you wait? And we're kind of busy here. Like we try to save this guy's life. He got shot in the head. And then, you know, after that, I realized that, oh crap, that does make sense. I do need to kind of pipe down a little bit. But I ended up wiping my face off and I had to go home and change my blood. My uniform was covered in blood. And then I went to another call with a grandma. And grandma wanted me to swipe for fingerprints because somebody broke in the house 15 hours ago. But I did. I treat everybody with respect and dignity, and I did. But that's just the instance how police work. I went from this crazy crime scene with blood and guts and all this stuff and all this trauma, and then trying to deal with grandma, who's, you know, her biggest issue right now is somebody broke in her house and stole some stuff. Anyway, I say that to say, I think the guy was already dead. We had to still do everything we can to save his life, but we began to set up crime scene tape and everything. Although he had gotten transported to the hospital, we knew he wasn't going to make it.
Yeah. The reason why they were saying this is because some people were saying that they were faking it by putting up tarp and police tape too early around it, which is just, you know, conspiracy theory. That's just standard protocol for police operations. But yeah, I mean, in the case with Carmelo Anthony, obviously now we have eyewitness to what actually happened, albeit across a football field. If a kid is bringing a knife to school, it's premeditated what he did. He brought that knife to school for a fucking reason. Yeah, it doesn't matter if somebody calls you words and says, hey man, get out of our tent, or hey man, stop stealing this stuff out of my backpack. That doesn't give you the right to stab them. Even if they were to call you the most horrific shit, calling someone a name never justifies your ability to fucking murder them. And I think it's ridiculous that people are humoring this fucking guy. I think it's fucking ridiculous that this person received over $500,000 of support on his GoFundMe to rebut his house just for murdering a white person. Listen, guys, I understand you may not like white people. You may not like black people. But that doesn't give you a right to justify everything bad that happens to white people or everything bad that happens to black people. People are people. And it's the same thing who support Hassan. I don't mean to make about him, but just because you agree with the guy's political views doesn't mean you have to support with everything that a person does. There's too many people who see this world in black and white, and the reality is everything's a shade of gray. And just because this person also watches your favorite anime doesn't mean that they're a good person. Just because the person plays the same video games as you doesn't mean that you should date them. You need to judge everything by a case-by-case basis, because if not, that is where society crumbles. And I'll be real, this shit with Carmelo Anthony, it was a massive fucking L for humanity, and I think a lot of people who are supporting him should be fucking ashamed right now. And I honestly hope everyone who supported that GoFundMe gets their money either refunded and, you know, the kid goes to jail because he's unsafe to have around real people. That's just the truth.
Yeah. He's also a child. But He's also a child, but that doesn't excuse you to murder anything. Or anybody.
Iran has kicked out IAEA inspectors. There could be portions of their nuclear program that are secret.
Yep.
A nuclear secret in the Middle East. How about it? If the world is interested in a secret nuclear program in the Middle East, there is a country that won't allow any international inspectors.
Guess which one it is?
Israel.
Oh! I thought they were going to say China.
Israel has a nuclear weapon. Did you know that? I do. They allow no inspections. They are fully secretive and clandestine about it, and the Americans are fully aware. You know what? I don't even blame Israel for this. If they want to develop a nuclear weapon, if they had the blessing to do so secretly, I'm not in judgment of that. But to drag the world into a regime change war over secret nuclear weapons, when you have secret nuclear weapons, is a bit hypocritical.
Well, it's self-preservation. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
It's just straight up self-preservation.
They don't want Iran, because Iran, if they get a weapon, they're flat out going to destroy whatever. Fuck, pretty much everything. They pretty much want to destroy everything. 90% of the world, if it was up to them.
I can understand it. But if they say they don't need us to get rid of all the nuclear facilities, Israel said that, I think it's time to turn those aircraft carriers around. I think it's time to leave. Yeah, I mean, if we're not going to bomb them and Israel says they can take care of it, time to go. Hypocrites live longer? Yeah. Always act in self-interest. Talk about morals and politics? Yeah. It's not a moral argument. It's a survival argument. Invoking fairness, which is irrelevant? Yeah. You never want to have a fair fight. You always want to have an asymmetrical, overwhelming advantage against your opponent.
So here's the deal. How about Iran and Israel both give up their secret nuclear weapon programs?
Done. Perfect. Completely agree.
If Trump got that deal, he wouldn't only get the Nobel Peace Prize, they'd probably name it the Trump Peace Prize forevermore.
Good one.
And it's not that crazy to think about Israel denuclearizing. Look at the model in South Africa. South Africa denuclearized right before they stopped being an apartheid state.
Yep.
Prominent voices in Israel and America have called for Trump to recognize Israel's sovereignty over Judea and Samaria, which some people call the West Bank. If that happens, Israel will have to let the 5 to 6 million people who live there vote. And they don't want to do that. I'm not calling Israel an apartheid state. Right now, I don't think they are. But if they are ruling the West Bank, as the neocons would suggest, then the South Africa model for denuclearization is not totally off base. There's a certain bravado at the beginning of a middle.
I don't see how it's even that complicated about like what the country does, bro. Like, it's better if people don't have nukes.
Yeah.
Like, it's just that simple. Like, and people, you know, it's like people might get mad, like, oh, you're making a complicated topic simple, because it is. It really is. Like, absolutely. Like, says USA, exactly. Like, well, of course we're going to add, like, the USA. Like, think about it like this: is it good for Russia that Ukraine doesn't have nukes? Simple question. Is it good that Ukraine doesn't have nukes? From Russia's perspective, it is. Okay. Is it good for China that Taiwan doesn't have nukes? As far as I don't think Taiwan has nukes, right? Is it good for China? Yes, again. It's also good. Is it good for us that Japan didn't have nukes in World War II? I would say that it is. So the fact is that having these weapons give you a distinct and obvious advantage in combat. Of course, they're going to want to make them, but we can't let other people make these weapons because, again, like we don't want to deal with this shit. It's bad. Yeah, it's power leverage, exactly. And you want to keep the leverage on your side of the table. That's survival. So it's good for the aggressor? Well, it's good also for it's good for the country no matter whether they're the aggressor or the defender. Like, nukes are also a deterrent for attacking a country too. They're both.
Middle East regime change war. There's enthusiasm, bold predictions of swift victory, and usually a total misunderstanding of what happens next.
Yeah.
Oh, Iraq wasn't prepared. Daisy cutter? This is how easily the so-called foreign policy experts believed we would carve our way through Iraq. I saw how many of our bravest patriots were pushing up daisies as a consequence of that war.
Yeah.
I went to their funerals. I visited their grave sites. I saw the true cost of a flawed regime change war in the Middle East. The problem is we had no plan to get out. Iraq cost America $3 trillion, and this distraction and disaster aided in both the rise of China and ISIS.
Yep.
Whoever was telling you that we had the ability to topple a regime in Iraq and then come out with something better was either one, lying to you, or two, so wholly ignorant about the country they were invading that their lack of knowledge or curiosity or...
He's wrong. It's neither. The reason why we got involved with that is because the people that wanted us to get involved had a vested financial interest in our involvement. That's the reason. What was Dick Cheney the CEO of?
Understanding led to blood and terrorism and chaos. So as we approach the 2025 vintage of regime change wars in Iran, I wonder if those now cheerleading attacks on Iran know anything about the country they want to topple.
Yeah, exactly, bro. We can't try to change their regime. We can't do that at all. I do think that this is going to damage the reputation, like especially of a lot of the pro-Israel people. A lot of the pro-Israel people will have their reputation damaged, I think, like seriously, by how much they are defending Israel. And I think that the veil has been lifted for like a lot of average Americans, and they've seen that, you know, America is doing a little bit too much to help Israel out. And I think that that's created, honestly, I think it's created anti-Semitism. I think it has. Instagram Reels contributed to about 90% of today's anti-Semitism. I'm like, honestly, as somebody who is like, I love racial jokes. I love racist jokes. I'm sorry. Like you can't make them in chat. You're against the rules. Don't even think about it. But I do love them. I do. Didn't JD Vance meet the Pat? Yeah, it's pretty bad on Instagram. Well, a lot of people, and I think what's happened is that Israel has completely lost the narrative in terms of them being this like kind of victimized state, because a lot of young people are growing up without the same type of generational guilt of the Holocaust. And so whenever they invoke Hitler or invoke the Holocaust or something like that, I don't think that it hits the same way now, because a lot of, and here's another reason. These kids probably don't even know when World War II happened. They don't even know when that shit happened to begin with, right? They got no idea. And so big surprise. Yeah, they think, same, I think they're funny too. Yeah, exactly, right? How's Vance's blue sky going? Not very well. The real difference, Iran has a large educated population that opposes the regime and even had a democracy before 1979. Well, I'm not trying to compare Iraq and Iran. I don't think it's a fair comparison either, personally. But
I was checking on the status
you
of
can't
my
blame
application.
people for
Can you
having
please
trepidation. I think you should expect that.
expedite
Sure.
it so I
Equivalent to
can
crying slavery in the U.S., yeah.
make
Maybe
a
if you're not
delivery?
Jewish or studied nothing about World War II or Holocaust, you'd think like that. No, it's very simple. These people were not involved with World War II. They didn't do the Holocaust, so they have no guilt for it. So when you invoke this bad thing that happened in the past to somebody as a justification or a moral authority for why it's okay for you to do something in the future or in the present, that doesn't really hit with the younger people as much, right? It doesn't work anymore. Like
They don't
slavery,
give a shit.
Think about like slavery, and you're seeing younger people also push back against the idea that, you know, slavery is some kind of like original sin that, you know, America needs to constantly be apologizing for. And that's happening in the same way that it's happening with Israel, is that a lot of these like basically emotional blackmail techniques are so lack of historical knowledge. No, well, in some cases, yes. So you're right that a lot of them are just, yeah, they don't know what it is because they're dumb. But there's also a huge contingency of them that don't know, that don't care. And that's the big point that I'm making about this. It's that they don't care. It doesn't matter to them whether, oh yeah, the Holocaust happened 100 years ago or slavery happened 150 years ago. This isn't something that they want to live their life according to today, because effectively what that means to people is that they don't want to live their life in the context of someone else's problems that they didn't even cause. And what I've learned and what I've observed just throughout history is that one way to radicalize a group of people is to hold them generationally accountable for something that they didn't do. And I think that you can look at this with, obviously, I think this led to the rise of like Nazis. I think it led after World War I. I think it led to the rise of a lot of anti-Semitism here. I think that it's led to the rise of, let's see, like a lot of, I think that the hatred that people have for Israel. I think Germany, yeah, exactly, right? It's happening now in America. It is. And I don't know a single instance where that's not the case. And so white Americans understand slavery. They just don't want their rights being lowered because they're white. Yeah, no, I think that's true, obviously. But war is when young and naive are tricked by old and bitter, killing each other. Sure, right? Guilt tripping is so bad it triggers emotion and it blocks logic. Do you think that we'll live to see a nuke dropped? No, I don't think it'll happen. Yeah, you asked me a question. I don't think so. How is the rise of anti-Semitism from World War I? Well, it's what happened after World War I. And even during the World War I, like Treaty of Versailles, was that it? I forgot. They even said that this was like, a 20-year armistice until World War II. And so, like, I mean, this was predicted even when it was happening. So, yeah, I could be a little bit wrong with some of these like data points. I think it was Kaiser Wilhelm that said that. So it was well defined when it happened. And I think that, again, you're seeing this happen with men too nowadays, where like men are being held generationally accountable because there were certain, generational advantages that men had maybe 50 years ago. And in some cases, only 20 years ago or 30 years ago, men had advantages that women didn't have. But when you're a guy who's 20 years old and you grew up without any of those advantages, and then they still want to handicap you because of them, that's going to create a lot of resentment. And I think that's something that's happening, and it's radicalizing more and more people. And that's where I think a lot of the anti-Israel sentiment is coming from. I think anti-Israel sentiment comes out of that. I think anti-woke sentiment comes out of that. I think that minority sentiment comes out of that. And yeah, I mean, I would say all of these come out of the exact same thing. You're on point 100%. That's where I would say, yeah, speak of truth. I mean, I hope that people can realize that. I'll read a few more of these in your millennial fathers, pussy. Well, I don't know if they have like dads at this point that are millennial, but yeah, if people are still around who had parents in concentration camps, it's still relevant to talk about today though, right? Well, you don't get to decide what's relevant for another person. And also they don't get to decide what's relevant to you. But you can't make a person care about what you care about. And to the extent that you try to emotionally blackmail them into doing so, you're going to alienate them against you. So I think that's what's clearly happened. It was because, like, again, this is what happened a long time ago. And so, like, why would somebody be thinking and making decisions about it now? What's the difference between emotional blackmail and learning from history? The difference is that it's about guilt, and it's about guilt and obligation. And so whenever you look at a historical context of something and you say, because of this historical context, we now need to be treated differently or better because of that, I think that that's whenever you really run into problems. It's assignment of guilt and assignment of blame. That's really it. White Americans fought to free slaves, yet there's guilt. Well, the amount of white Americans that owned slaves in America was like 1% to 3% or something like that. It was a very small minority of Americans that actually even owned slaves to begin with. Slavery was really expensive. What? Well, yeah, I'll pull it up and show you. A lot of people might not know this. What percentage of Americans owned slaves before slavery was abolished? So I think it's 1.68, right? And so, yeah. In the South, where slavery was more concentrated, the percentage was higher. So on average, it was 1.4%. And even in the South, it was less than 10% at 8%. Right? So there you go. And so very, very low amount of people, around 1860, around 1.4% of the U.S. population owned slaves. So the entire concept of this being like a generational thing that white people are responsible for is ridiculous. The first slave owner in America was black. Well, guess who was probably selling the slaves? right? I mean, like, that's clearly what happened. I mean, people conquering each other and selling each other into slavery. It's a tale as old as time. So, and that's a lot of things like this that people are realizing. It's so important. And like all of these things, keep in mind too, is that none of these things invalidate people's, like, they don't invalidate civil rights. They don't invalidate people's struggles. They don't invalidate people's personal experiences. But I think it's really important for, at the same time, everyone to realize that there is a big difference. And for people, and I think that when people realize these facts, a lot of the seemingly generational guilt kind of disappears.
Yeah.
Slavery was cattle to people? Well, yeah, chattel slavery. Yeah, I think everybody knows that. Slavery was very bad. You're being ignorant? Well, let me go back and actually, you know what? That's not even an argument. I'm just going to ban you. I don't want to argue with somebody who's not even verbalizing what they think. So yeah. And my family ancestors were Irish slaves. So we have that too. Yeah, definitely. And you think the biggest reason why people hate Israel is the horrible war crimes they committed are well documented, like March 23rd, where they clearly unloaded ammunition on ambulance workers? No, yeah, I think that's definitely it. But